My name is Mike Crabtree. That's Victor Alpha 3, Mike Charlie Tango. And I just wanted to run through a very quick demo of how to use Winlink Express templates. Templates are very useful, particularly in an emergency communications perspective, because we can actually have very neat looking printable forms, but we don't have to send the whole of that form across. We just send the actual data that's integrated inside that form. So let's take a look at and see how we would actually set that up. It's very quick and very straightforward. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to click on a brand new email. So the icon at the very top left hand corner here. Okay, so this has brought up the typical email window where you might send in call sign names or actual traditional email addresses that you would put in here, with a CC as subject, and then an area that you can actually put in whatever text you want. Okay, but the text is kind of very boring looking and not really ideal for printing. So what we do is we select a template. So when we click on select template, there is a template manager that comes up, and it has lots and lots of different folders in here with different things that we can actually choose. So there is a set of Canadian forms, and in particular one that's important is this IMS form 213R TXT. And also under the general forms, for instance, there is one called the Winlink check-in.txt, and that's useful for things like Winlink Wednesday kind of nets that go on. Obviously, you need to spend time going around all of these different forms, seeing what's useful to you, and your local group will actually have an idea on specific forms that they maybe actually want to use, and also your local municipality or region or province may ask you to use specific kinds of forms because they need that within their emergency operations center. But let's just choose the Winlink check-in. This is really more of the operators just checking in to say how well they're doing, what radios they're using, are things working. So let's click on the Winlink check-in. I'm going to click on select. Okay. What that's done is it's actually opened up a new browser window. Let me just move the browser window across here so we can see it. So this is just the form that's actually opened up. I'd already set up some items in here. So the York Region Amateur Radio Club, I'd actually set that data up in here so that it comes up all the time when I actually use that. Other things that are automatically entered is things like this date and time. Now you can click on the area and it will actually bring up the latest date and time. You can just click on it and it will update that field in there. You can check the status. So it might be an exercise that we're doing, like a winter field day or a summer field day or an actual SET. I'm going to put in that this is for a net, and typically I might use VHF and packet to actually send the data out from the system that I'm working on. It could be not applicable in Telnet, for instance, or if you're using HF, it could be RDOP or VARA or something like that. Now, I've already got some call signs in here that I've used before. So when you've used call signs in a previous form, it will actually pull that data up, just makes it very much quicker and easier to actually enter the data. You can obviously cross this out and put new things in here. So I could put to myself, for instance, but I'm going to keep it with VA3MCT. Okay, so that's Robert. He's my district emergency coordinator. Sorry. Okay, so the other things that we can put in here is who the operator is. So in this case, it's me, and I'm actually going to be sending using my call sign. So anything that goes over the air is actually going to be using my call sign and therefore my user ID and password to get into the Winlink system. But it could be a different operator that's actually operating. So if I was working at an emergency operations center that had an assigned call sign, they would probably have that set up as their call sign for the EOC, and I would use mine as the actual operator that's sending the detail. Now location, I've used this before, so I can just say it's York Region, but also the latitude and longitude, once you put it in the first time, will stay with the form. It then fills in automatically this NGRS, the grid square, and the what 3 words location. So that's fairly automatic once you've been through this the first time through and actually putting your lat long information. So further information on here is that there is comments. So you can actually put in comments like Robert, all is well and operational. Systems available are HF, VARA, and VHF packet. Oops, let me just type down proper VHF packet. 73 Mike. Okay. Now, the key thing on this form and on any of the forms is that they will have a set of buttons at the bottom. So one will save this check-in data and it just saves it in a file, and that enables you then to load that check-in data back into the file. Yeah, useful, but not the key thing we're looking for here. The key thing is the submit button. So when I click on the submit button, we're going to take the pieces of data that we've actually put into here, these kind of things, and actually save that information into the email in preparation to actually send it. So watch what happens when I click on submit. It comes up with form submission. I have to click on OK and then close the open browser window. So it leaves you with this kind of blank browser window. You close it. And now what you'll see is that the data that I entered into the form is now directly in the actual email in preparation and ready to send. So one of the other things about this form now, so we've told it about the data that's in here. For the person that's receiving it, they need to know which form you actually use. And you'll find that that's right down at the bottom here. There's Winlink check-in 4.0.20. That means that when it's actually sent to the person at the other end, it will know, you use this form and now I can refill using that form. And now it's very simple. You just click on the post to outbox and it's there. You'll see that it's got the icon that says that there is an attachment, and that attachment really is all of that data. And that forces the system, when it gets to the receiver's end, when you click on that email, it will automatically open up the browser window and populate the form that it knows that you used with the data that's actually sent in the email. Now, obviously, all you need to do is actually open up your session, and you would actually be able to then send it via your telnet, your packet, whatever it is that you happen to be using. So again, very simple and quick way of actually filling in forms. The key thing is to press that submit button at the bottom, and then you can actually send that data through to the other end. Okay, that's all I was going to show at this stage. Thank you very much for your time, and I shall see you further down the log.